Welcome to the Clocking In Voices of North Carolina Manufacturing podcast. I'm your host, Phil Mintz of the NC State University College of Engineering's Industry Extension Services. In this space, we interview passionate North Carolina manufacturers and industry experts who will inspire and inform you with their curious insights, humble beginnings, and unique stories of achievement. These amazing guests will also share their strategies and tactics that have taken their businesses and careers to the highest levels. Cesmii is a national nonprofit funded by the Department of Energy with the critical mission to democratize smart manufacturing technology so it's accessible to every manufacturer, regardless of size. Conrad Leiva is the Vice President of Ecosystems and Workforce Development for Cesmii, and Conrad brings over 2 decades of experience in the manufacturing systems and is a recognized authority on how the digital thread from the front office to the factory floor is reshaping our global competitiveness. Today we're going to talk to Conrad about why smart manufacturing isn't just for the giants, how it's impacting the workforce right here in North Carolina and all across the country, and how your business can start its own Industry 4.0 journey. So Conrad, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
So Cesmii talks a lot about democratizing smart manufacturing for a small to medium-sized manufacturer in North Carolina and other states who might feel like things like AI and IoT is out of their league. What does that democratization look like on the shop floor?
Well, it's one of the misnomers that we have to fight a lot out there when we're getting out there doing presentations. A lot of the smaller manufacturers feel that this is not accessible to them, that it takes $500,000 to invest in infrastructure and equipment and software to get into really these smart manufacturing techniques and become a highly digital factory. The truth is that it's become more practical. The equipment, the hardware is getting cheaper and cheaper. Sensors are getting cheaper. The wireless technologies of today are very secure and are becoming more dependable and can be used in production environments. Now, it is possible to put a data foundation in place, a platform in place, the infrastructure required for under $50,000 for any manufacturer, and they can even start with $25,000 or something like that, including some services and stuff. So it's really, we're talking at a whole other different scale where the payback is justifiable because, we truly believe it's very important for manufacturers of any size to become highly digital so they can be a better supplier to their customers.
Yeah, I guess it's also not just kind of a cost thing. I mean, you know, you've published a lot on kind of the first principles of smart manufacturing. Yeah. So other than just buying new software, what is kind of the shift, that mindset that a company has to make to become a smart operation?
Yeah. So I love, well, thanks for pointing that out. We did publish certain principles. Well, what we found 7 years ago, still people were using the term smart manufacturing very loosely. We got more specific about it and published what it really means to be smart, what are the guiding principles for manufacturers, because what we saw a lot were manufacturers pursuing point solutions to specific problems, and then in some ways making the future journey more complicated because maybe they didn't think about some of the implications, considerations that they needed to think about up front. So we want to make sure the whole manufacturing enterprise is highly connected and that you're not just solving a quality problem in that department and putting a quality solution there. In this other department, you had a maintenance problem. We had a machine that kept going down, and you tackled it and put a maintenance solution in place. But now these two solutions are like islands of innovation, different silos, and they don't talk to each other. You really want to have data about how your operation is running. Is it running on time? About what materials are running through your plant, about what quality you're having, and about how your machines are operating, all in the same context.
So, Conrad, if I'm a small manufacturer, what kind of things can I do to get started with smart manufacturing today?
Yeah. Well, one of the recommendations we have is start putting that right culture in place. I mean, and these are things that don't necessarily cost a lot of money or something, but there's a lot of resources available for your team to really think about getting more digitally comfortable. I mean, we're getting more comfortable with our phones and using them in our everyday lives. We should feel that comfortable with using digital information in our day-to-day jobs. So work on that culture of if something is being done by paper, is that really the most effective way of doing that? Or could we be starting to look at putting some data foundation in place? So the other thing is to look at really start putting a data foundation in place to share data across the enterprise and give visibility to everybody, make your team comfortable with metrics. What are the key metrics? Think of your customer-centric metrics that are like, schedule, cost, quality, and safety metrics, and make everybody understand that why the organizations really need these metrics to provide the best customer, the best product out there in the market, and how that helps everybody in the company. So those are three things: work on the culture, on getting your people better prepared, and putting a good data foundation together. These are simple things that every company should be doing.
Yeah, and there's programs out there that's supporting that. I know we're working with you guys on the State Manufacturing Leadership Program, which we're finding that many companies do need to start figuring out how to put their data in place. So
and to support your local MEP, reach out to your local resources in your state, and there's help available for manufacturers to really get started. You don't have to go at it alone.
So as the leader of the ecosystem and workforce development at Cesmii, what are you seeing as some of the biggest gaps for the next generation of professionals in manufacturing? And, how is Cesmii helping try to develop that through maybe any community colleges or industry partners?
Yeah, well, we work on several lanes. As you know, we're helping develop technology to lower the cost of implementation of these techniques through R&D projects, but education is also a very important lane. It's not enough to have the technology. We need the people that can implement that technology, and we need people ready to use it. If not, you're putting a great machine in or robot in and nobody knows how to use it. It's not going to help you much in your process, because our mission is to help manufacturers at scale throughout the country. What I'm doing is a lot of enabling train-the-trainer programs and putting micro-credential standards in place to be used nationally, and then helping colleges with resources and curriculum to accelerate how fast they can put these education programs in place.
So we're speaking with Conrad Leiva of Cesmii, the Smart Manufacturing Institute, and we're actually just meeting here at a large manufacturing conference, and you're doing a workshop here. What is that about?
Yeah, tomorrow I'm doing a workshop on how to bring lean techniques and smart manufacturing techniques together. When lean manufacturing started, it was heavily about how to use simple and techniques and not rely on software solutions so much, but try to simplify and use simple visual techniques as much as possible. But we find that today and manufacturing keeps getting more complex, the products keep getting more complex, the machines are more complex. Think about your phone, about the phones that we had 15 years ago and the phones we have. There's just a lot of more complicated parts in there. The truth is that when you combine digital techniques and with the lean techniques, you achieve much greater results today, and you can handle much more complex scenarios with that combination. So a lot of what I'm talking about tomorrow is about how to bring digital and lean together.
So, we get that very approach often when we're out talking to customers as well. They just want to bring in automation or technology, and then we go to their factory and it's like, well, have you did as much as you could do with lean? I mean, have you really done anything?
You do need to. It is important to do them both.
Yeah.
So a lot of what we're talking about is, that's the other way. One is coming at it with lean and anti-automation kind of attitude, and the other one is fully going into automation and not thinking about the lean concepts. The most powerful combination for me is to do them both and really keep those guiding principles of lean in mind and bring in technology where it's needed.
Yeah, so, I guess as you start to think about using the term smart manufacturing to identify how you do digitize things, where does the AI applications come into all of this?
AI is very important because what are important criteria for smart manufacturing? One is that we're using real-time data, that we've created ways to capture data and organize it in real time so we can act on it on real time. But when we say act on it intelligently and create semi-autonomous processes, this is where we can either do it through programmatic ways, systematic ways where we're kind of hard-coding the rules in there, or more so these days we're starting to use AI techniques to really detect patterns, to teach AI and how to do things, and then trigger alarms and warnings to folks for unusual situations that are arising, so we can get proactive and detect early patterns and act on them before they become problematic.
So we've been talking with Conrad Leiva from the Cesmii Smart Manufacturing Institute, and we're fortunate enough to have him here today at this manufacturing conference, and we appreciate the time you've given us today to talk a little bit about Cesmii.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for joining us for Clocking In Voices of North Carolina Manufacturing. If you'd like to learn more about the manufacturing solutions offered by NC State Industry Extension Services, go to www.ies.ncsu.edu.